So I want to read a few of these letters from these students, and I figured I'd just go ahead and show you the letters as well. Hi there, my name is Rusty James. I live in Muddy Cluster, Montana. I come from the White Hawk family. All I know is that they fought in the Battle of the Little Bighorn Battle. They were in the Elkhorn Scrapers. Why I like being Cheyenne is because my people fought for this land, and they tried real hard to get us to live here because we love it here. So that's what I like about being Northern Cheyenne. And that's Rusty James. Dear Mr. David Lemon, I am Trailin Ray, 22. My family came from North Dakota, and I currently live in Lame Deer, Montana, on the Northern Cheyenne Reservation. My family rides horses, and my mother and sisters each bead. My brother rides in rodeos, while my sisters make their own traditional dance outfits. I am the descendant of Crazy Horse. What I love about being Cheyenne is that our tribe is very cultural and spiritual. We are very connected in a way most families are similar. What I love about living on the Cheyenne Reservation is that we don't have to go have the same rules as big cities, such as cities like Chicago and Los Angeles. On the reservation, we don't have an age limit or any law that says we have to have a driver's license. Hi, Mr. Lemon. I am Fawn Sterling Weasel Bear. I come from the Hunts Along family and the Weasel Bear family. My mom and dad are Tiffany Weasel Bear and Elroy Weasel Bear. Her maiden name is Hunts Along. My Indian name is Magpie Tail Feather Woman. I live in Lame Deer, Montana, between here and Muddy Cluster. The road is Lynch Coulee Road. I live in Lame Deer most of my life. Some of my relatives were part of the Little Bighorn Battle. One of the names was Weasel Bear. He was only 15 years of age when he fought in the battle. My mom beads, and she used to dance, and I also dance. My family rides horses, and I ride in the Little Bighorn ride in the summer. I love being Cheyenne because we have pride in ourselves, and we are about the strongest Indians alive. The reasons why I love living in Northern Cheyenne Indian Reservation is because I love the gatherings, powwows, basketball games, and tournaments. Fawn Sterling Weasel Bear. Dear Mr. Lemon, my name is Jeffrey Brownstone. I live in Lame Deer, Montana. My last name is from the Cheyenne people and is originally from Busby, Montana. The last name Brownstone, I don't know a lot about it. However, I do know it's an original Cheyenne family name, and most of my family are well-respected people. They are respected because many are traditional and are part of the Brown Bowstring Society. Something I know that is interesting is that I am related to the current sacred hat keeper. His name is Alan Joe Blackwolf. I like riding horses and enjoy going to powwows, but I do not dance. What I love about being Cheyenne is the Cheyenne have a lot of history, and the Cheyenne people are very respectful and traditional. What I love about living on the Northern Cheyenne Reservation would probably be the freedom we have on the reservation. The other reasons I like living on the reservation is you don't need a driver's license to drive, and you don't need a license to hunt or fish. The other things I like about the reservation is that there are many historical sites. Some are well known and some are only known to the community around it. Tiana Braided Hair. My name is Tiana Braided Hair. I come from Lame Deer, Montana. I am Cheyenne, but not enough that I want to be. I have other tribes such as Crow, Sioux, and Cree. I have lots of pride in my cultures. I can bead and also make my own outfit to dance. I learn a lot of information that I had never known before, like the language and culture. I like my Cheyenne culture. I like learning about my language because it is one of the dying languages, and I would like to pass it on to others that want to learn it. My name is Spirit Plains Woman, but I don't know what the meaning is. This is some of my Cheyenne culture. Tiana, braided hair. Dear Mr. Lemon, my name is Gracie. I come from the family of Brownstone, His Bad Horse, Little Bird, and Big Tail. My last name is Little Bird. I am from the 7th generation of Chief Little Wolf. My Indian name is Blue Bird Woman. I live in Muddy Cluster. It is a little ways out of Lame Deer, Montana. I made a pouch and a little pair of moccasins. I like being Northern Cheyenne because we have a lot of spiritual experience that means a lot to us. I like living in the reservation because it is where my friends live and it is fun. That's Gracie Little Bird. Hello, I'm Martika Pluma Chief, goes out. I am from the Rocky Boy, Montana, but I currently live in Ashland, Montana. My name comes from the Chippewa Cree tribe. My last name came from one of my great-grandfathers. All I know of him is that his name was Chief Goes Out. I know that he didn't have a first or middle name. My nephew always thought that Chief was his first name, Goes was his middle name, and Out was his last. Since he went to public school and most of the non-natives had plain ordinary names, he always wondered and got confused about it till we finally told him. I went to a private Catholic school in Hays, Montana. Pretty much everyone that went there was Native American. I'm pretty sure you can tell where I live. If you can't, I guess I will tell you. I live in Rocky Boy. I go to St. Labre Catholic High School. The problem about it is St. Labre is in Ashland and Rocky Boy is 9 hours away. So I stay in the dorms. Then in the summer go back home. It's hard having to live far away from my dad, but it helps me prepare for college, so I know how to get used to being in dorms and living and going to school away from my family. I guess you can think of it as my dad sending me away to boot camp. It doesn't have the hard labor, yelling, and uniforms, but it's just as strict as boot camp. I love being Native American because of our great historical features like the beadwork, costumes, horses, and powwows. I do some of my own beadwork with my older sister also does. My mom and great-grandmother do most of my beadwork, some with my sisters. My mother and grandmother make all my dance outfits. I love to ride horses on my spare time. I go to the powwows to dance at most of the powwows every year. I love a lot of things about being a Native American. Every day I learn new things about the past. What I love the most is that we have our own language. I don't speak a lot of it, only some. I hope someday I can learn all of it so I can keep my heritage going. Hello, Mr. Lemon. My name is Shawna Eloise McManus. I am 15 years old. I live in a couple of miles outside of Lame Deer. My Indian name is Hidden Woman. I don't really know where my last name came from. My mother's name is Clara Marie One Feather, and my father's name is Albert Lee McManus. I am half Northern Cheyenne and half Lakota. Our noted history is that we are really good artists. I dance jingle dresses and traditional, but not this year. I really like to ride horses. I can really make costumes really good. I come from 2 tribes, so I have 2 homes I can go to. I have my home in Montana and I have my home somewhere in Wyoming. I really like being Northern Cheyenne because I know I come from a strong tribe. Also, respect my own other tribal blood. I know it is going to be a great meeting you and seeing your workshop. Hi, Mr. Lemon. I'm Dexter Bigback. I live in Busby, Montana. I'm in the Kit Fox Society. I used to dance traditional at powwows then when I was just little. I also learned how to bead a couple of years ago. I love being Cheyenne because of the long line of history we have behind us and what kind of ancestors we have. In my free time, I like to play basketball and football, and I try to get more athletic than I am. I love living on the reservation because of how natural all the surroundings are, also how exciting and historic everything is around here. Dear Mr. Lemon, I am Jackie ThreeFingers. My family came from Montana. I live in Muddy Creek. Something about my history is my grandfather was a chief. I go to the Catholic Church in Lame Deer. I love to ride horses, and I braid people's hair. But most important is I make fry bread. I love being a Cheyenne because it's fun and very cultural. I like being on the reservation because you get to be with other Cheyenne people. Sincerely, Jackie ThreeFingers. I am Silver. My last name is Lily. I think it was a Cheyenne warrior who fought in the Little Bighorn battle. That is my dad's last name. My dad's last name is supposed to be White Wolf, but the last name was dying out, so they took my many great-grandfather's Charles last name. My dad's mom's maiden name is Clubfoot and Fox. My mom's maiden name is Medicine Bull, which is also Northern Cheyenne. My mom's maiden name is His Bad Horse. I have lived in Lame Deer, Montana most of my life, although I spent a couple of years in Billings. I enjoy playing volleyball and basketball. I spend a lot of time drawing. I also enjoy reading, writing, and going to powwows and cooking. I am a 7th generation of Chief Little Wolf on my maternal grandmother's side. I belong to the Elkhorn Scraper Society. My paternal grandmother belongs to the Kit Fox Society, and I don't know about my mom's societies. I love being Cheyenne because I have a sense of pride toward my people, and I believe we are the best tribe around. I love living on the reservation because I get to go to St. Labray. I get to see my friends I love being around, and I like to live here where my ancestors once roamed. I am Michael Bowers. I am half German, 1/8 Crow, 1/4 Cheyenne, and 1/4 Comanche. My name comes from the German heritage. My great-grandfather came to America in 1910. My Crow name is Knows His Gun. It comes from my great-grandpa Hector Knows His Gun. He lived in Kirby, Montana, with his wife Frances Two Birds, and their 6 kids, which included my grandma Edith. My Comanche side I know little about. My grandma's grandma was on a hill watching the Battle of the Little Bighorn. That same grandma was in the Fort Robinson breakout, and her brother was killed protecting her and her other sister. I live in Lame Deer, Montana. I enjoy the cultural values around my community, from beadwork to the annually powwows. The cultural of the people is still rich with pride that I enjoy, for the Cheyenne Nation has an eloquent history and a high cultural values that date back many centuries ago. Sincerely, Michael Bowers. Hi, I am Ashley. My name is Ashley Medicine Bull. I come from the Northern Cheyenne tribe. My parents are Kimberly Spang and Flores Medicine Bull. My maternal last name is Wooden Thigh and Spang. My paternal last name is Medicine Bull and His Bad Horse. My Indian name is Happy Woman. I live in Lame Deer, Montana. I am a 7th generation of Chief Little Wolf on my paternal grandmother's side. I like to play basketball and volleyball. I am a freak on Facebook. I love it to death, and without it, I wouldn't be where I am today. It was a life changer for me and is the biggest impact I ever had. Well, anywho, when I am not on Facebook, I like to sing round dance with my cousin Silver. I like to draw, hang out with my friends, and drive around on my four-wheeler. I'm nuts about music. I listen to all kinds of music. I give big ups to Kid Cudi, Drake, and Natanis Laundry. I like being Northern Cheyenne because I like to embrace my culture, language, and overall my identity. We're the bomb. And in our past, I've heard of battles that gave an impression of the brave Cheyenne people. I like to live on the reservation because I have lots of friends who are alike. I like the environment and nature and the town, although it could get cleaned up a bit. I also like lame deer because there is a lot of space, hills, and trees. I also like to live here because my ancestors have and always will for generations to come. That's Ashley Big Medicine. My name is Jamie Littleboy. I live in Busby, Montana. I come from Wisting Elk family. All I know about my family is that they fought against Custer and broke out of Fort Robinson. My older sister does beadwork for me and others. She makes me earrings. I ride horses all the time, whenever I can. I also ride a bike and play basketball. What I love about being Cheyenne is that I can go to college. What I love about living on the Cheyenne Res is that all of my family lives here. Yes, dear Mr. Lemon, my name is Zach Whiteman. I come from the Whiteman and Black Wolf families. I live on the west side of Lame Deer. I know that my great-grandparents fought against Custer. My mother and grandma, Redneck, does beadwork for me and others on several reservations. My mom beads medallions, my grandma beads earrings for me. What I love about being a Cheyenne is that our history is important today, and that's how other tribes and other people around the world recognize us Cheyenne people. What I love about living on the Cheyenne Reservation is that I can ride horses whenever I want. I can shoot my bow and arrow around in the hills, and that we have powwows to celebrate when events happen in the past. Dear Mr. Lemon, my name is Caleb Highwalking. I live in Little Deer District. I am related to the son of Bighorn. He fought in Custer's last stand. My auntie beads for me. I have a necklace and also ride horses. I love being Cheyenne because of our history and all the awesome things we can do. It's okay living in the Northern Cheyenne Res. It could use some things like parks and swimming pools. Boy, if I had the money, I would build them a park and I would give them a swimming pool. Hi, Mr. Lemon. I am Noah Bigback. My family name comes from Busby, Montana. Some history that I know about is the Bighorn battle and where my people fought. I like to ride horses. I break horses at my house. I live in Busby, Montana. What I love about living on the Cheyenne Reservation is getting to see friends and seeing history everywhere. One thing I love about being Cheyenne is having a lot of history and family. My great-grandfather met some of those ancestors, I'm sure, because when he came across the prairie in 1847, he wrote in his journal about the Cheyenne and how out of all the tribes, it struck him that they were the handsomest and the best-mannered of all the tribes. All right, well, that's going to be it for this today, and hopefully we'll be here tomorrow. I hope I'm not coming down with something. All right, and all you guys that wrote me these things were here yesterday, I really do thank you. You honored me greatly. All right, see you tomorrow.